Hey kids, welcome to Unit 7, Lesson 3, Overloading Methods, exercise number 6. I'm going to do A in this video. I do want to make a note that A, C, and D are pretty easy. They all have the same solutions we're going to cover today. B, though, a little more complicated. Just want to give you a heads up if you're going to try a different one. Let's jump into A and see what we have to code. A video streaming platform wants to manage its user accounts, including creating new accounts and updating existing accounts. Write the create account method in the video platform class. The method should take a username, password, and email address as parameters. Write another create account method in the video platform class. The method should take a username and password as parameters. Then we're going to call both create account methods and then print the user object. And this method really builds on what we did in the last lesson, which is passing objects as parameters. We're going to do something very similar in this lesson. Instead of passing an object as a parameter, we're going to return an object. We're going to combine that with overloading, and we've done overloading before. If you remember back to Unit 1, we made constructors. We had no argument constructors. And then we made constructors with 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters. That was overloading. And that's all we're going to really do today. We're going to create multiple methods with the same method name, and we're going to return a new object. Let's go ahead and code this up. Makes a lot more sense when we see what we're doing. We're going to head over here, and we're going to write the create account method. How do we write a method? It's going to be public. We want access outside of the class. And what do we want to actually access? Well, if we go over to user, I have a username, a password, and an email. And if you look, they want a username, password, and email. And if you look, I have a constructor that takes all three, and I have a constructor that takes two. I think that's the data type I want to use. This has everything encapsulated within it that I need. So we're going to write from the user class, and we're going to do create account and some curly cues. This is going to be my 3 parameter. And inside the parameters, what do we want? Well, in here, the same thing, string username, string password, string email. So I'm going to go to string username, string password, string email. We have a data type, so that means we need a return. And much like the previous lesson, in our constructor, we created a new object. Well, in this one, every time we run this method, we want to create a new object. We want a blueprint. This wouldn't be very helpful if every time we created a bank account, we overwrote the last customer's account. That'd be pretty silly. So we need a new object. How do we create a new object? What's going to be new? It's going to be from the user class. And now all we want to do is put the same parameters down. Username, password, and email. That'll fit the 3 constructor. Now we're going to use the 2, username and password. Clean this up. We're going to do the same thing. Public user. We're going to do create account. This is my 2 parameter. In here, I'm going to do the same thing. This time, I'm only going to use the string username and the string password. I see that S there. Don't worry. We're going to do the same thing. If we're creating a customer with just a username and password, we don't want to overwrite the last one. We want to create new objects. So we want to return a new user. And this time we just want the username and password. That's it. That's all we have to do. That's overloading a method. 3 parameters, 2 parameters, overloading. And we're using our class encapsulated as our type to store our username, password, and email. Pretty neat. We're not done. We have to go over to the user runner and print this off. Let's go to user runner. Over here, I have to print these accounts off. Let's do system.out.println. And this one's going to be, we have our object from above, my platform. And we want to create account. And in the first one, we needed a name. We'll just put user. And then for the second one, we needed a password. We're going to put not secure. And then we need an email. Let's send it to code.org, no reply at code.org. That was my 3. Let's do my 2. We're going to do my platform dot create account. And then we're going to do the same thing, but this is going to be a new user 2, new object. And then their password, they're not so good either. We'll do weak password. Now when I hit run, I should get user not secure and no reply to print off, and user 2 and weak password to print off. Same method name, but I overloaded the signature. Let's go ahead and hit run, see if we got any spelling errors. Nope. And you see here, we got our username 1 and 2 to print off. If we go to user and down here on our print statement, you'll see we just print off username and email. That's why we're not getting the password to print off. Well, that would be silly if we printed off the password. And that's it, kids. That's how we overload a method. And we're going to return a new object. Pretty neat. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. As always, kids, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. See you later, kids. Bye. Bye. Bye.